Hello, Mr. Riggs here, and today I have what was part of a cherry slab that was air drying at a sawmill for about 2 years, and I had to do a lot of sawing and cutting to get down to some usable material. I did try and get that on video for you, but as is part of the learning process, it did not turn out that well. So this is how the wood was in the slab, and there was a bunch of wane and bark inclusions on both sides of the slab, but I managed to get some usable pieces. This will turn away, as long as this is the bottom, that'll turn away when we put that on the lathe. Same thing with this bark here, but as you can see, I've got 2 holes drilled for the screw chuck, so you'll get to see the turning of those. And we'll see what we can get out of these. And I know they're not that big. A lot of turners don't bother with small stuff. About 3 inches square and 1 3/8 inches. So 35 mil thick by, just say 75. And then 105, 4 inches square by the same thickness. No, a little bit thinner. 1 1/4 inches, about 32 mil. There's still plenty of good material to be had even in these small blanks. So we'll go ahead and turn those and see what we can get out of them. Alright, I've drilled a 1/4 inch hole. That's going to go straight onto the screw chuck. And off we go. I'll just use the 5/8 bowl gouge. Let's get this up probably around 1200. 1180. There's a little crack, well, a big crack, and still a flat spot. A little bit of a bark intrusion there. So we'll see if we can get rid of that. I'll go ahead and mark for the foot. Go a little bit faster. 1400. Still a little bit right there, so I think I might just get away with it. Good. I think normally I'd use the square end scraper to do the detail, but I'll use the 1/2 inch skew because the 1 inch might be a little too wide. Kind of using it like a negative rake scraper. Much better. It looks like we got rid of that split. Start sanding. So I'll do 180 grit forward and reverse, and then 240 grit reverse and forward. And I'll go ahead and apply my own tung oil finish. There, it looks beautiful. And you just wipe off any excess. There we are. Now it becomes getting it off the screw chuck. There we are. And we'll rough turn the other one before we do the insides. $900, let's bring it up to about 1,000. A little bit more now. 1220. Just doing the same kind of pivoting motion from the front face. A little bit more speed. What are we at now? 1530. Mark out for the foot. skated back on me just a little bit. Needs to be just a little bit smaller than that. That's fine. And a nice shear cut across the bottom. Leave it nice and smooth. Now I will use the 1-inch square and scraper. I'll clean up whatever tool marks I left and kind of refine the shape. Feels very nice. And like I did with the 1/2-inch skew, I'll put in that detail there with the square and scraper. And you know what? I can put a little groove up here with the corner of the scraper. That might look nice. Just like that. I would say let's sand, but just check and make sure I haven't left any bark or cracks. Oh, it looks very nice. You can see just, there we go. I thought it was picked up grain, but it was just a little bit of, little piece of wood hanging on. Alright, straight to sanding. Same as before, 180 forward reverse, 240 reverse forward. There we go. I want to make sure I get in that decorative groove there, because if I don't, it'll be as if I left the oil on here too long or in too thick of a coat, and it'll get sticky and gummy. Just wipe it on and wipe it off. There we go. Oh, it wants to be difficult. I did the screw chuck. Alright. The chuck that's going to grab this one, it's this chuck. Oh, it almost had it. There we go. just like that. And I guess we'll hollow this one first. Alright, we should be good to go. A little bit higher. A little bit faster. 1400. I'm hitting the camera. Actually feels pretty close. I'll get the 1-inch bowl scraper. The rest will come up just a little bit. So that the tool is pitched down at center. Just need to get rid of that hump in the middle, and I did touch that rim just a little bit. You know, in all the excitement, I did not true up the rim. There we go. It will leave a sharp corner right there when you do that, so I have to make sure I sand that. Don't want any sharp corners. There we go. On to the next one. And I have to change chucks for that. Alright, got the smallest set of shark jaws on here. And this is definitely more of a square bowl than a rectangle like the other one. Meaning the block of wood that it come from was more square. Now to think about it. Okay. A little more speed. I'm just lining up that bevel with the way that I want to go. That rim feels good. And I think head back to the bowl scraper. Go up a little bit more. Close. This is definitely more of a feel thing than putting your eyes right in the bottom of the bowl. It still needs to be a little. Still feel a rough spot. Here we go, I think. Yeah, that'll do it. And here they are. I think these bowls turned out quite nice. No chuck marks on the feet. Even this one that I had to take it off the screw chuck with the chuck. No marks on there. The detail turned out nice. And I think the cherry looks beautiful anyway. So thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon.